A very good morning to all of you. How are you guys today? You all right? I hope that the weekend was awesome and everybody's healthy and safe. Well, this is the Trading Cage. Welcome to our channel, and this is where we beat the gold. So, let's go for our Monday analysis and to see what has been happening with our gold until this morning. Let me sort out this page here. Yesterday we went long on a short scalp on the opening of the Asian market together with our students at our LTX Academy. Okay, it's a school that we work with here in Brazil, and we have over 60,000 students, okay, that work through our school, and we teach them how to become profitable on the day trade. So we have these rooms and we have these classes where we operate with them. So we actually trade with them on the live market as well. We have many others um, school classes. Okay, so we have all these workshops where we will learn how to work with different assets. So we work with dollar, real, we work with ABOF, which is the Brazilian index. We work with gold. We have Nasdaq in there, Bitfoot, Bitcoin, and many others assets. Okay, so if you are interested on getting to know our school, get in touch with me, okay, send me a message and I can point you in the right direction. We also offer mentorships, okay, private mentorships. So I do the mentorships myself. Get in touch with us and we will teach you all that you need to know about this technique and how candle reading candle per candle will change your life, okay? As you can see, my chart doesn't have a lot of indicators. So it's a clear chart. The drawings I make on it is pretty much just liquidity and support and resistance, basically. And I keep on drawing it things so you guys can see where I am waiting for price to test, that sort of thing. Apart from that, the chart is pretty clean, which is awesome to trade like this. All right, so after all these merchandising, let's go over to our chart. So once again, for the fifth consecutive day, gold has been renewing the all-time high price of the market. So we don't have a hell of a lot to talk about support on the macro movement. So we'll go over to the micro movement, which is where we can study a bit more. Right now we have the support down below on 4645. Okay, it's still support that it hasn't really tested yet. So, but then again, I don't know if gold would come all this way down to test it. Okay, we are quite far away from that right now. Pretty much, it's quite a lot of points actually for it to come down. It will eventually. It won't. It can't keep on going up without coming down to test that support. But with everything that's happening in the macroeconomy, it's making it a bit difficult for the gold to retract as everybody's going over to the gold to make sure that they're safe with their equities. Okay, so let's go over to our chart. One second. Just 1 second, please. Sorry about that. So, what do we have here? We have our trigger candle and our relevant stopping point right here on candle 7 on our chart. So this one's right there. What else can we track from that price? We do have resistance here on that maximum price there. So what we could do, we'll leave it to a smaller time frame so we can have a look at that. We can see right now that which other supports would we have? We have this one here, which is pretty much the closing of Friday. Yesterday, as you can see, candle 1 did not even test down. It just went straight up. That just went straight up to get all that liquidity that we had in this region here. It actually was like over 2,000 points. That candle, get that candle 1 on the 5 minutes was pretty big. So at the moment we've got that, so we get support there. We have got our 50% of the day here on that green line. That's our 50%. We did have a 3 candle pattern here on candle 7, which was also on candle 8 paid. Also renewed maximum price, renewed all that all-time high. Now we've got candle 12 hasn't managed to break through and close above candle 11. Candle 13 pretty much the same, hasn't managed to close above, and candle 14, it's looking like a doji at the moment. So I think we might get, let me see if I'm right. This is right. So at the moment we could have that, or we could have this. This is looking a bit better. I'll just leave that trend line in there for a moment while I do the analysis of the lower time frames, and then we see if that actually is viable. Okay, so not really in there. So if I bring it the other way down here, no, still don't have that one. Okay. So we still don't have that trend line. We do have this one, but it doesn't really touch on the minimal candle 1. And if I left it there, that means that it's almost to its breaking point. But we could leave it there for now. It feels like we could have a channel for that price in here. Let's see if we do have that channel. Where's my... That one out. Let's try again. So Looks like we're in a bit of a channel right now. And then we can see price touch there, comes back to support, then comes closer to support, goes over, touches the top of the channel, gets sideways for the last movements. All right, what else can we see on this chart? Since we are always trading record highs at the moment, a lot of people are really afraid of working those all-time highs. But one thing that we learn is if we have enough confluence and if we are doing everything that the technique tells us to do, if the market is showing you the direction, why not? Okay, we have traded all-time highs for years here, and we are right 95% of the time. Okay, so with this technique, you can trade all-time highs as long as your stop isn't that long. Okay, so when you're doing all-time highs, there is a possibility because you do have really strong resistance on these highest price here. Okay, as people are trying to sell and are trying to liquidate the position, you do get a lot of resistance. So every time you are going to trade all-time highs, you have to be really careful with your risk management. But that doesn't mean that you can't get into those trades. All right. So at the moment on 15 minutes, we are pretty much in a consolidation zone. We do have resistance right here in this region. Okay, so we have resistance right there. We have got support here on that trigger candle on the hour chart. Over here on candle 26, we could get a feeble. Let's see what's happening to these micro movements here. So the movement is actually holding on to on that 50% region. Okay. Now, one thing that I always tell you guys, every single morning, I say the same thing. Let's go over here to the 5 minutes just before I say that. Okay. So what do I say every morning to you guys? One thing is simple. Every time price tries to go up and then it doesn't manage to renew that old high that it creates, okay, on the structure, it will tend to come lower. So we have here a big retraction of price, and then it comes back up. It tries to beat that trigger candle there, didn't manage to. I'll actually move this line here. I'll actually move it to that trigger candle there. Where is it? Come on, everybody. Good God. Okay, so we have that trigger candle there. It tried to beat it, didn't manage to. Came back down, didn't beat that trigger candle, went back up. When it comes back up, you see that it didn't manage to renew that high either. So once it gets in there, what does price do? It comes down a lot lower to grab the liquidity it had created in this region here. Okay. So after doing this, it creates more liquidity down here. And then you see the price comes back to the support region of the 50% of the movement, but doesn't renew and it doesn't get that liquidity to try to go up. And then all of a sudden, what happens? Price can't beat that top line there, that high price on that structure. So now it has to come down all the way back to the 50%, possibly lower, because it needs to get more liquidity to continue on the way that it wants to go, which is up. Most of the time it will do this. A lot of the time, some other times it won't. Okay. So sometimes it might just touch that trigger candle and then be on its way up once again. But we need to keep an eye out for it because it does happen quite a bit. These search for the liquidity that has been created below. Well, we are on the 50% of that movement right now. On these structures, what we're looking is to buy at support, sell at resistance until it actually breaks through. And then once it breaks through, then we could hold our trade, or we could take it out, or we could get into a buying trade once it's coming to grab all the liquidity that it has in here. Now, let's see on a higher time frame, where are the inefficiencies, if there's any. While price is still working on the consolidation zone, we are not going to do anything trading wise at the moment. So on our chart, we don't have any inefficiencies here. On the 4-hour chart, we don't have inefficiencies there. There's a very small one down below here. But I don't see price coming down there right now. So at the moment, we do not have inefficiencies for the price. Price is very efficient at the moment. As you can see, it creates liquidity, comes and grabs it, and puts it somewhere else. The only inefficiency that I can see at the moment would be this one here on the 5 minutes, okay, which is that one. So we could see price coming below to get not only the stops from all of these guys, but also that inefficiency there. Not you, you stay there. Okay, let me take that one out. Cool. Now we are in a buying market, and so we have all of this inefficiency here on our 5-minute candle. And I do prefer to buy than to sell on this market. But not every day it will do as I want to. So if it shows me that it will be a sell, I'm happy to sell, but I do prefer buying on this structure instead of selling. And then we have here on the all-time high, we have got that liquidity that was generated by the sellers here on candle 95. So for the moment, we have so far we have a channel that the price is obeying at the moment. So we've got a channel here. We do have all-time high. We've got liquidity above. We also have inefficiency down just below it, which is good. Price could accelerate in there. We have stops just below the 50% zone of this movement here. Okay. Candle 161 just broke above the last high of that movement there. As we can see, we've got very good support here on the 50% region. We do have that trigger candle on the 1-hour chart, which is support down below. If price does break through it, it will come to grab all of this inefficiency here on the region of 50% of the day. Okay. So we have our targets here for a sell. Once it breaks 50% here, and this 50% of that movement, we would have targets on the minimum of movement and then on the 50% of the day. Targets for a buy to go long is once it goes over, actually right now would be a good, it's showing us a good movement here to go up, but I would need it to test down quite well because of that resistance up top. But price just grabbed a really good amount of liquidity there. Just bear with me for a second. Okay. Candle 162 is coming down to test the last support that it just broke through. So we have support here. Let's see if candle 162 will respect that support or if it will just come down straight. Big push from sellers there. As you can see, very strong resistance. So price breaks through, grab that liquidity that it had above candle 158. Also started grabbing the liquidity from the top of candle 140. And once it does that, it gets pushed down by sellers, as we can see right now. So prices doing quite okay at the moment, okay? It is a healthy movement. It creates inefficiency and then it comes and grabs it out, which means that there's not enough volatility in the market at the moment. So it makes a movement, then stop those guys, comes back. It's just grabbing liquidity, accumulating liquidity to make its movement once it's ready. All right. So all we can do right now is wait for it. Again, this is the boring part of being a trader. We know what the price needs to do, and we're just not going to be trading on anything like that. One thing about the technique that we use that it saves us every time is this. Most of traders, they will see a movement like this, and they will hit the buy now button, right? So they'll see, wow, this is a very bullish movement, very big bullish movement. I don't want to miss out on it. And then what they'll do is they'll hit buy now, and then the price will just come down to grab their stop. And then they'll be freaking out. So the good thing about playing buy limits and stop limit orders is that we are always safe on movements like this because price is not going to touch our entry point. So on movements that price does grab our entry points, it means that it tested the support or tested resistance for the price and then made the movement. Oh, Thiago, but it got our entry point, moved just a little bit on it, and then came back to the movement that it had again, and then unfortunately stopped us. That's fine. At least you're following through all the steps of the technique that you learned. All right. And if you do that every single day, you will become profitable. One thing that you can't do is keep on changing strategies. Because if you change it, you're never going to know when you're going to be profitable and when not. Because if you do one thing today, another thing tomorrow, and another thing the other day, it's so many things that you're not going to be consistent on it. There are many strategies on the market that actually works. Okay. I do not tell people to use indicators because we work with price action and graphic reading. Okay. which works really, really well. As you can see, I'll get the right movement every time almost. It's very rare when it does something and then I couldn't anticipate it. But like right now, we would call this candle 161 a manipulation. Why? Because it manipulates people to buy and then comes and stops them. That's a manipulation right there. You can see that price is coming down here. All of a sudden, big push up induces a lot of people to buy, and then it just comes down below to its starting point, stopping everybody. So things like this, you can't anticipate manipulation, so you don't anticipate it, but at least you don't get onto it without the market doing the things that it needs to do, which is testing support, testing resistance, okay, before you get into those trades. Candle 162 just brought all the movement back. 163 is coming down to the 50% region of that movement. Candle 55 on the 15 minutes did not test up. Was waiting for that test, but didn't test up. That's all good. Let's see how far down candle 163 will come. Okay, it's already touched our trigger candle there. So it already came to that region. Sorry about that. Let me get this here. So that support in there. If breaks through that support, it will have to do exactly as we said before. It will have to come down to grab all that liquidity that we have down below. As we can see now, there is big resistance up the top here, which price hasn't been able to reach. So it's pretty much around there. That's our resistance. If price can't break that resistance, it will come down and break support. Simply because it needs liquidity. And liquidity is found here. Let me change that color there. Cool. So we got that one there. And we have a little bit of inefficiency in here. Where is it? Let me unselect that. Candle 163 didn't manage to break through that trigger candle yet. We're still waiting. And then we have all the stops on 15 minutes here. We have all these stops from these guys, which could also accelerate the price. Forty-seven seconds for candle 163 to close. Oh, thank you guys. Well, with your help, we'll get really far away. Samuel, thank you for joining us, mate. We are hoping to get 3,000 followers in 60 days. Um, it's a very difficult goal to reach, but I think that we will follow through. And if you don't get 3,000 in 60 days, we'll just keep on trying until we do. There's a lot of people in this world that needs help with trading. Not everybody has managed to be successful yet, because this is a very hard market to work with if you don't have the right technique, if you don't know what you're doing properly. People lose money on the market every day. For somebody to make money, people need to lose money. So it's one of those harsh places to work. On 64, didn't test before. We always gotta wait for that test, okay? So candle 164 would be good if it actually did test there. We're always waiting for those tests. So it tested right now. It tested trigger candle 162. Also, it is below the 50% zone. I would be waiting for a sell around that region. Let's see how that works. Let's see if candle 164 will test that region there and if it will come back or not. If it does come back, it will be coming down, should test that support down below. Because once it grabs that liquidity, it will probably accelerate. Now on the 15 minutes, we can see that candle 55 came here below the trigger candle number 50. Okay, it could reject this candle 50 here and move on its way up again. But for me to see that, or for us to see that, it does need to break through these trigger candles at 158 here to tell me that, look, I'm beating resistance, at least the small resistance we have. We do have inefficiency here left on candle 162 now, which could call buyers on to it. Should go up once again. But we do know that there's quite a lot of a very strong rejection point up the top. Let's see if candle 164 comes back below. If we could see here on 1 minute, if that's just a pullback to continue on its way down. Hang on, more feeble. What are you doing? So we have that movement. We have a retracement on 50% of that movement. If this closes below the 50% of this movement, you would confirm that pullback to the minimals. Okay. Let's see. Oh, it did. So we could have a sell really, really soon here. Let's see if 820 tests candle 818. No, it's not going to test it. If candle 164 closes this way, I would be willing to do a quick sell until down here. Okay. But it has to close. Candle 164 needs to close within these trigger candles here. Tested candle 818. It's got 9 seconds to come back. It's got to close below. If it doesn't close below, then I'm not doing anything. Oh, it did. Look at that. Test up. I'm waiting for one test. Test, 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 test. Okay. I'm going to put a sell here. So I have big push from sellers. Let's see if it will continue to go down. It has confirmed pullback. So if it has confirmed pullback here, then it must come down and renew that lowest price. Let's see. It is a support region, but price does need that liquidity. See, the good thing about not hitting a buy now, it's exactly this. Price goes up to tested the 50% region once again. If it can't break through, it will come and carry us down below. Now, according to the technique, oh, Tiago, but you're buying at support, you're selling at support. That's fine. According to the confluences I have is, I've got a consolidation zone on the all-time high. Price has come down to this support many times to grab more liquidity. Also, price went up the top, grabbed liquidity and came down, broke through the 50% zone, created a pullback, okay, confirmed my pullback, tested up on the 50% region, once again, confirmed my pullback to the minimals. We have liquidity down below. We've got another 50% down below, which could be support. So these are all the confluences I need for that sale. I'm going to put my sale here. Let's see if price will come to pay us. Price will have to come down below quite a bit. Okay, all right. What I could do is get a partial out. Well, let's see if you're paying full. So what I could do is I could close 0.75% of my hand right there, and then leave a little bit of it. So I closed 75% of my hand when it touched here. Why is that? Simply because I'm in a support region. Now I'm got 0.25 of my hand driving on this trade. If it comes back, it will take me on break even. The other good thing, oh, hang on. I'm also sold on another platform here. Let me just protect my trade right now. Cool. So I'm protected on both trades. If it takes me out, that's totally fine. I'm on break even here. I already had a successful trade in there. So that was $330. That's on my pocket right now on a consolidation zone. Sideways market is not that good. We are in a support zone and we still, okay, so it took us out on break even. But look at that. So once again, confirms our support zone. We made $330 on this trade in less than 5 minutes. Not bad, eh? Not bad. Now, it could come down below. Yes, it could. This could be just a test of the resistance up the top there, okay? But I was not willing to hold that trade for too long because of that support. What I wanted it to do was actually come down here, come below that 149 and accelerate to continue its way down. What it did, it got here, it got big pressure from buyers, went up top. I was not willing to hold on to that trade just in case it came back and grabbed my stop loss. Okay, there's no point on it. After the price has moved over 300 points to 400 points on the gold, I tend to put it on break even. Okay, I'll take a partial out, I'll put it on break even and let the price work. So candle 56 is testing up. Most likely this price will continue to come down. I'm holding this trade on my prop firm. But I'm already protected in there as well. So the way I manage my accounts, this is just a feedback to you guys. Some people may want this information. I've got my cash flow account, which is this one here that I'm projecting for you guys. I'm actually going to start another cash flow account just for our arena here, okay, just for the lives. I'll probably start one with $10,000 and then we'll grow that account together with you guys, okay? Just so you can see how it works. This is my private cash account. So on my private cash account is I will do certain trades, okay, that pays my bills, makes me happy. I survive from it. Not only with these ones, but I have other cash accounts that I operate on Brazilian market and on the New Zealand market as well. So I still have accounts overseas that I operate with. And then I have my prop firms. On the prop firm accounts, I will hold trade longer. Okay, I'll hold trades a lot longer than I'll hold on my private cash account, simply because my cash account is my money. I can just make money here, go there, withdraw the money on an ATM, and live my life with it. Prop firm accounts, I'll tend to risk a little bit more because I could have I have more lots to work with in certain accounts, and I keep pretty much 80% of all the margin, all the money that I make in there. So it makes total sense. I'm not risking my own capital. I'm risking the capital from prop accounts. So the hard thing is finding a good prop account. There's a lot of prop accounts in there out there that actually don't pay. Okay, they give you every excuse not to pay you. So, but I do work with a couple good prop firms that actually has paid me quite a bit, and they continue to do so. So I'm happy trading with them. But there are others that they just want to sell the platform, but they don't really want to pay, which is not really good. Cool. Here on 1 minute, we still have that movement down. Okay. So we have a pullback at the moment. It hasn't confirmed that pullback to the minimals, but it looks like price will continue to come down lower as it's designing at the moment. Okay. So we had candle 827 here, just testing our resistance. 828 got the price back. 829 did kind of break through that trigger candle 824, but not enough. 830 must come down from there, close below that 50%, confirming us our pullback to the minimals. I'll even draw it here on 1 minute so you guys can see it. Come on, come on, come on. There you go. One thing that you saw me do on that trade was I changed my lots here from 2 to 1. Normally I'll trade with 2 lots, and you may wonder why. Why I did that is because my stop loss here would be quite far away. Okay, so in here on the 5-minute chart, when we put that trade in, my stop loss would have to be pretty much 600 points. So above candle 164 and inside of that trigger candle 162. Why? Because that was my resistance at that moment. So it has to be above 50% and then above the other resistance that was 164 and above the resistance of the trigger candle 162, which we know that hold the price on the candle 164. Okay, so at 700 points, I decided that I wanted to have my risk management with one lot instead of two lots. So when you see that you're gonna have to add your stop loss in a trade that's way too long, you don't want to be risking a lot more than what you're willing to. Okay, so in that case, that's why I put one lot here, and that paid us that 300 something dollars. If I had two lots, it would have paid me about 700 bucks, but then I would be risking double on my stop. Small good trade just to start the day. Let's wait for what the American market opening will have. At the moment, I do feel like the American market might actually come to grab all this liquidity down below. Okay. We don't have a very strong buying force at the moment. Okay. We do have this support, which is quite strong. People are holding on to their positions down here. So buyers are hitting on that price to make sure the sellers don't come and stop them. But I think that with the volatility of the American market, the opening of the American market, we would have enough volatility to come grab all this liquidity down here before the market tries to make their way up again. So we have got 8 minutes on our live here. Let's have a look at what we would be looking for. Okay, so I always tend to try to leave you guys with a good reading through before I go. Let me just select that. I want to get this one out. Okay. So for going long here, if price actually makes a three candle pattern here on this region, we could go long here, okay? But just be careful. Just be careful with this trigger candle 162. All right. So it may reject this 50%, the support price right now. I do think that still should come down lower, as you can see here on 1 minute. It has broken through that trigger candle, but is finding support here at the moment. So if price closes below the support, then we know that price most likely will continue on its way down. So going long, we could wait for that rejection of these 50%. One region here that would be good to watch out for is this resistance right above, okay? The other good point, so once the other thing you could do is once you broke through that, if you can't manage to grab a trade in there or after it has broken through those trigger candles here, you could get into a buy just depending on where your stop would be. Remember that your stop loss could be, it needs to be hidden before a pullback or just below a pullback or below that 50% zone. The other thing you could do is wait for price to break through here. Once you broke through all of that, wait for that test down, okay, that I always tell you guys about. Wait for that test down. Once it tests down, then wait for the confirmation of that pullback, and then you can go long in there. Okay. For shorts, For shorts, I wouldn't sell right now here on this structure as it is, but I would be happy to sell once it confirms uh, below 50%. So if it confirms on 50% there, if it breaks through, comes here, tests the last support and confirms it coming down. If it goes over that 50%, so 50% of this movement, showing you that it has confirmed a pullback to come down, you could always go short here because you do have quite a lot of stops in this region, and the movement would have to come down below to grab all those stops plus that inefficiency there that price could welcome to grab it and accelerate down on that region. Target here would be minimal movement here, here. Be careful with this relevant stopping point, or trigger candle 88. Also, you have your trigger candle 81, okay, in this region here. But a good target would be the 50% of the day right here, okay? That may stop the pricing there. Now look at that, how 168 is coming to grab all that liquidity that was created. And that's our analysis for today. All right, at least for the next couple of hours, this is the analysis, the way to go. So you would buy above 50% of this movement. Okay, once it rejects it and confirms it, you would sell below here after it rejects this resistance. Once was support, now it will have to become resistance. If it doesn't test it, don't trust that movement, okay? It may just be the market looking for liquidity to come back right up and then stopping everybody else. We still have got 4 minutes to go. So I'll wait here with you guys. Brazilian market's a bit weird today. Not really fun to operate right now. Dollar against BRL. It's just like the gold's consolidated sideways, completely sideways. So not very cool. But it's all right. I'll go make my analysis of it as soon as we finish here, and then we'll get on with those trades. Candle 168 renew the minimals. Right now, candle 839 is coming back around the 50% zone. It's going to test that resistance. Look at that. We want to see this price breaking through. Okay, wait for it to break through and then test up. Don't just get into a selling trade here. This whole region is support. Remember that this line is a trigger candle on the 1 hour chart. So every time it hits it, it will get a bit of a buying power here because those buyers are trying to protect their stop that's down below on the 1 hour. People that trade on the hour chart, of course. We have traders that will trade on 1 minute, on 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour. So different traders will trade in different ways and they'll protect their money in different positions. Cool. Guys, well, this was our trading cage for today. I would like to thank you all for coming here and saying our analysis. Okay. Today we had 40 people coming here with us. So This is awesome. Thank you very much for being part of this and helping us out. Okay. We are here because we want to teach people how to live for and in this market. Okay. It is a very good job that you have if you know what you're doing and if you have the right technique and if you study a lot. Okay. This is an awesome market to work within. Now, if you need any help, as I said before, I do offer mentorships, private mentorships. Get in touch with me, leave me a comment or a message, and we'll sort that out. We also work with a school, a academy here in Brazil that we form traders, professional traders. Okay, so we have quite a lot of people here that trade together with us. It has been awesome to be with you guys today again. Thank you very much. This is the trading cage where we beat the gold, and I will see you tomorrow. Throughout the day, I'll be posting a couple of things. Let's see how the market um, resolves itself today, how it's going to move. But we know basically what we need to watch out for. We have the opening of the US market in about an hour and a half. I will see you guys soon. See you tomorrow. Oh, one thing I forgot. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this channel with your friends. Okay, we do have that target of 3,000 people in 60 days, and I'm counting on the help of you guys to help me reach that goal. It's not an easy target, but if everybody share this content with their friends, we'll get there in no time. So don't forget to like, okay, so YouTube can see that this is a relevant channel and that we are serious about our work. And thanks for your help. All right. See you. I'll see you tomorrow.